One of my favorite things in the world is big teams going down, and Tottenham is in serious danger of going down, which I'm pretty excited about. Wrexham.
Why do you want to see Tottenham go down? Why do you want to see?
It's funny.
Why do you want to go? It's not funny.
It's hysterical.
It is funny.
That's a classic Premier League team. You're not all right. I don't.
It's funny. Then they should have done better.
Team.
Where's your love for Charlton Athletic?
Yeah, there you go. Say it, Charlton Athletic. Say Watford. Say Bournemouth or whatever. I don't care. Like, but don't ruin the Premier League for someone that's been watching the Premier League since the 90s.
They'll get back. They'll be promoted again, and they have more money.
It was horrible when Newcastle United went down. All right, it was horrible when Newcastle United.
Beautiful. It was beautiful.
It wasn't beautiful. It was horrible. All right.
And you know what? Now
let the bottom feeders fight it off. All right. All right.
All right.
But that must sound really rich for someone that cheers for Leverkusen. So
Leverkusen ain't going down.
Yeah. I mean, classic Bundesliga thing. There are a lot of big clubs in the second division, and honestly, I went to a few of the games on my trip, and they were all fun. So,
doesn't
honestly, I wanted to though. We actually, we talked about we should have done that it was our last day there.
The other Munich team.
They were playing on Friday. It looked crazy too, but yeah, I think Tottenham. It just would be funny because I think it's funny when any big Premier League team gets knocked off their pedestal a little bit, like they need their ego brought down. It'll be funny.
Like last season, we were so close.
If Man City went down, I wouldn't care.
I would love that
because they're not a classic Premier League.
But Tottenham players all think they're too good to go down, but yet they're the ones that are tanking and by losing games. So I think, I'm sure they will get rid of all those players and whatever. The players will go to different teams that are still in the Premier League. But I still think it's funny.
Remember back in the day when the Premier League was all about throwing flying kicks and two-legged tackles and walking away with a yellow and playing in fields that had mud patches on them. Those were the days, man.
Yeah, DPG, you really worried if they can do it on a cold Tuesday night in Stoke, right?
Yep.
Anyway, so
you had Vinnie Jones rough shop.
Dude,
Vinnie Jones throwing elbows around.
Dude, I can't believe. I don't even want to talk about. We were so close last season to Manchester United going down, and that would have been
put that evil on them.
That would have been the most epic thing to happen in football. I think the only other thing epically that could happen like that would be Bayern or Barcelona.
Oh my God. You guys really want to see all these crappy teams. You guys really want to see all these crappy teams fight it out.
Oh,
like
I want to see.
I don't think it's not the crappy teams making it in their stead that makes me interested. It's the idea of giants going down. It's funny.
Yeah, but it's like you're gonna let a nobody, I don't know. I just
don't put Luton in your mouth. There. Don't say Luton Town or nothing. Don't.
Look, I get why Juventus went down because those dudes cheated, and I can live with that. But I mean, come on.
So are you pro or anti-relegation? It's hard to tell what your stance is here.
He's a romantic. He has an idea of what a Premier League team is, and Tottenham is a part of that.
Yeah, it's like
I get that, but I'm just saying if you're saying only the lower, the teams you deem to be less historical deserve to be promoted or relegated. I'm then they should end promotion and relegation. All the big teams should get to stay up no matter what.
The big teams want to make their own tournament they don't have to qualify for the Champions League. They tried to pull that out a couple of years ago.
Well, and Real Madrid is the only team left in that league, by the way.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, is that to me, Tottenham is one of the original founding Premier League teams. And I'm talking about now, I'm not talking about first division from way back in the 1800s. I'm talking about the actual Premier League that started off in 1991, 1992. Yeah. So, excuse me if I get a little, emotional because that's one of the original teams, same as Manchester United. But then again, you also have teams like Blackburn Rovers that, I don't even know where they're at now anymore. Newcastle Newcastle was one of the original ones too. So
Newcastle's back.
that's what it is.
I mean,
Yeah,
my love for big teams struggling has been well documented. I want to see Tottenham go down, and in their place,
oh my God,
I would
don't
love to
wanna
see
hear it.
Deadpool FC, Wrexham,
Nope.
take their
Nope.
no,
Nope.
dude, they are
You know
in
what's
a
gonna
playoff
happen,
spot.
right? You know what's gonna happen though, right? If Wrexham makes it to the Premier League, I can guarantee you that Deadpool and the other guy are gonna sell the team.
So what?
They
The
might stick
story's
around
over.
for.
I don't know. That's kind of
You
the
know,
coolest
that-
shit ever. You go from the National League to the Premier League in like 6 years. That's kind of lit.
They're gonna sell the team, take probably 10x their investment, the initial investment, and call it a day. Like that's it. There's the magic. The magic's over. Like it's like Sunderland till I die. The magic's not there anymore.
The magic's not there. Get the fuck out of here, man.
The magic's not there anymore.
I'm not listening to you anymore. Serena, what? Okay, beyond like the X's and O's, because I know we're not watching the championship like that, but what are your thoughts about a Wrexham in the Premier League, like and this Cinderella story?
I mean, I never watched any of the show, and I don't really know that much about it. I also don't. I mean, I don't know. I guess good for them if they do get promoted. I'm a little bit like it's like almost too on the nose. It's like too perfect. Like celebrity owns a club. They have a TV show about it, and now they made it. Yay! Like story complete. Part of it a little to me is like, all right, it'd be funny in a way if they just or like maybe I'd respect it if they just like didn't. If the end of the story is just that they didn't get promoted and they just kind of were good with being.
They folded.
I don't know, but like
they folded.
Fine, like it's.
Here's the thing though, is that Serena goes for like the little guy. She cheers for Leverkusen.
I love the shit talking because Leverkusen, the little guy. Now,
the little guy.
I will say this, like honestly, and DPG and I both I think said this. When they got promoted to the championship, it was like, okay, that was a really great Cinderella run. Enjoy your 10 years of duking it out with Millwall before you get into the Premier League. But the fact that they're in a playoff position this late in the first season in the championship, like, you gotta maybe dream, man. Because they did, let's be honest, they completely outspent. They were Manchester City in the National League. They were Manchester City in League One. They were League Two, I should say. They were Manchester City in League One. They are not in the championship. They're in the middle of the pack in money spend. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of they found their level of normalcy, right? So I don't know. I have watched the show. I did enjoy the first couple seasons, and I don't know, man. As much as I want to see a big team go down, I'd love to see a team from the 5th division in the Premier League. Like, that would be sick.
Look, you're going to get that. It's called Hull City.
famous for Josie Altidore's stint there.
Middlesbrough has been jumping up and down. It's you got the likes of Ipswich Town. Like I don't know. I mean,
there's some good teams out there.
Coventry is like in first place. Surprise, surprise!
Automatic promotion. I mean,
and that team's been like bouncing between the divisions from like second, first championship.
There's a lot of yo-yo clubs. Fulham yo-yoed a lot there for a while.
Yeah.
I can't believe how far South End. So Serena, actually, this is funny. I think you kind of joined the show at the beginning of the Premier League, right? Like the Premier League was just getting started when you like first joined the show, I think. And I'm pretty sure you and I were talking about something, and I said, the second Everton gets relegated, they're gone. forever. I'm like, they signed James Madison, they ain't gonna do nothing. And aren't they like in 6th or 7th place right now? Like,
Yeah, doing well. His last time I
oh
checked.
man,
It's like, it's like Manchester United. They right the ship, bro. Now they're Manchester United is fighting
firmly in mouth. Anyway, so okay, so we had our fun. We talked Wrexham. We talked Tottenham. The championship after this season is looking to extend the playoffs from 4 teams to 6, which means we were joking like Wrexham could make it to the Premier League, but they're in 6th place in the championship right now. That means there's a outside chance that an 8th place finisher in the championship could be in the Premier League the following season. So how do we feel about this? Don't care. Nobody.
I don't have opinions, to be honest.
Really? See,
it's
this is like
to me, European football right now is just standings and points. That's it. I don't even. If I catch a game, cool. If not, like I'm morally focused on the MLS stuff, specifically the Fire. But
he's a real Fire fan.
If I feel you. No, yeah. I'm not against it, but I don't know. Like, I like some. I guess I don't know. I feel like that's crazy that a team that finishes 8th could go to the Premier League. Like, I think it's really crazy to do a playoff for promotion to begin with, but like, obviously it's such intense competition. The fact that it's only it's only like 2 rounds is what makes it fun. Like 4 teams down to that last 2 to like promotion. That's the fun part. If you start making it bigger, then it's like MLS playoffs, right? Like baseball playoffs used to be sick. You had your 3 division winners and you had your 1 wild card. And that was like awesome. That was the balance.
What's wild? What's wild is how they have these like League 2, National Division League, they have them play the playoffs in that stadium in London. That huge cavernous stadium.
Yeah.
And Wembley, and then
I went to it 2 years ago. I went to the promotion game at Wembley, Leyton Orient versus Charlton, and it was being in Wembley was crazy.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. Some of these teams, they come from like stadiums that only have like 5K, 10K maybe, and then they got to play in this huge stadium. That's crazy.
And it sells out.
I'll send a photo.
Yes, I will insert the photo. Yes, please send it to me. That's kind of sick. Who won that game? I can't remember.
Charlton, yeah.
Ugh. God, second mention of Charlton Athletic. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Beautiful. Anyway, I don't know. Like I thought that was like too many. Like I felt like that's a really fun balance what they have. Now I really like what Germany does, because doesn't the 17th team the team that finishes 18th in the Bundesliga plays the team that finishes 3rd in the second Bundesliga.
Yeah. It's the top two of the second division go up, that automatically go up. The bottom 2 automatically drop, but then the 3rd to last and the 3rd to the top play each other.
Like that's like cool. The game you want to see, man. That is like a fight for your life kind of game. I'm surprised no one's been stabbed.
Fight for your paycheck type of situation. Yeah,
for real.